Hello there. In this video, we are going to download and load a sample PostgreSQL database. I have already downloaded the database for simplicity, and the database is basically in a zipped format. So I've got the database in a folder here, so I'm just going to click on it. So this is the database. It will be available for you to download under the resource area for this lecture. It's in a zipped format, so you need to have a software extraction tool to extract the database. So you can use WinRAR, you can use WinZip, or any software extraction tool you have available. You can use that to extract the database content. So let me walk you through the steps we are going to take to download and load the sample PostgreSQL database. So we're going to start off by extracting the zipped database. We're going to extract it to a .tar format. Once we've done that, we're going to create a folder on the C drive or any drive you wish, and then we'll place the extracted tar format into that folder, and we will create a new database using the PSQL tool. We need to create a database to restore the sample database into. Once we've created a new database, we'll then have to load that sample database using a command line tool. If you're on Windows, you use the command prompt. If you're on a Mac, you can use the terminal. Once we've loaded that, we'll then verify the loaded sample database by running just a basic query to make sure everything works. So let's begin by extracting the database. I'm just going to click on this folder here, and the software extraction tool I have is called WinRAR, which is actually free to use. So I'm just going to right click and click on extract here, and it will extract the content. You can see now it has extracted the content. You can see this is the extracted content. If I right click and click on properties, you can see that it is now a .tar format. All right. So what I need to do is now go into my C drive. Let me right click and copy this, and I'll quickly go to my C drive, and on my C drive I will create a folder called temp just by right clicking and going on folder, and I'll call this folder temp, and inside this temp folder I'm just going to right click and paste the tar formatted file. So this is the extracted database in the tar format. I've placed it into a folder on my C drive called temp. Next thing we need to do is create a database using the PSQL tool. So within the PostgreSQL folder, just click to expand that, and then click on the SQL shell, which is the PSQL. And what we need to do is create a new database. So just press enter to just provide some answers until you get the prompt to log in. All right, so we've got the username, and now you need to enter your password. So enter the password you entered during the installation of the database. Once you've entered the password, you need to create a new database. And the way you do that, you type in the command create, you do a space followed by the word database. Okay, you do a space followed by the name of the database, and the database is going to be called DVD rental. Okay, DVD rental, that is the name of the database. And then you end that with a semicolon. You press enter. You may get a prompt to enter the password. If you do get the prompt, just enter the password. If you don't get the prompt, it will return back to the command line, which means it has created the database. So once you get that create database, that means the database has now been created. The next thing we need to do is load the sample database from the temporary file that we extracted it to. So to do that, we need to open our command line tool if you're using Windows, or you can use the terminal if you are on a Mac. That's my command prompt. I'm just going to right click and click run as administrator, and that will open up a terminal window. So this is my command prompt here. So the first thing I want to do is just navigate to the C drive. So I'll do that by typing cd ... and that will navigate backwards. I'll do cd again ... and press enter, and that will give me the C drive. So I've now navigated to the C drive. The next thing I want to do is locate where my PostgreSQL was installed and add that to the path. So what I need to do is open up my folder and go to my programs menu and locate, it's usually in program files. So that's my PostgreSQL folder here. So I'm just going to click on that and then click inside that and then click in the bin. So this is what we want. So what you do, highlight this path here for the bin directly, just copy that, and then we go back into our command prompt, just type in cd, and then you paste the path into it and press enter. You can see now we are now referencing the bin directory from the Postgres installation. So I'm just going to type in cls to clear the screen so that I only have the path I want. The next thing I want to do is to use the pgrestore tool to load data into the DVD rental database. So this is the tool here. I've pasted in this here. So you have pg_restore. You do the --U. That basically specifies Postgres user to log in to the PostgreSQL database. That's what that is. And then we have the DVD rental. Okay, and that is a path to the extracted sample database. So just press enter, and that will ask you for a password to the database. So you just enter the password to the server and press enter. You may get some errors. So if your console or your terminal is clear and it returns to this command here, that means it would have loaded the database. So if we launch the pgadmin GUI tool, we can use that to check the database that was loaded. So open up the GUI tool by locating it inside your PostgreSQL folder. So that's my PostgreSQL folder, and I'm just going to click on pgadmin4, and that's my pgadmin4 tool here. So this is the tool here. So it tells you here under databases is giving me 4 here. So if I expand that, I've already expanded it, you can see the DVD rental database. So if I expand that, you can see all the objects belonging to that database. If I come here and on the schemas, we've got the public schema, and these are all the objects of the schema. If I click here, you can see the tables. These are all the tables. There are 15 tables in this sample database. So if I want, I can do a quick test by going on the tools here and opening the query window. It's saying no object selected. I need to select an object. So I select this schema and come here and do query, and it will reference that schema. You can see here it's got DVD rental. That means it's referencing that database. So I should be able to execute a query against any of the database tables. So I'm just going to pick this table called actor. So I will type in select and star from the table called actor. I'm using the asterisk because I want it to select to return all the records from that table. And then press this symbol here, and you can see the output here. It tells me successfully it has returned 200 rows from this table. So this is a verification that we have successfully loaded the sample database. In this video, we downloaded and loaded a sample PostgreSQL database. We started off by extracting the zipped database into a .tar format. We created a temp folder on the C drive and placed the extracted tar format into that database. We then created a new database in PostgreSQL using PSQL. You have to create a database in order to load the sample database into. So we did that. We then loaded the sample database using the command line tool, and we were able to verify the loaded sample database by running a very basic query on one of the tables in the database. Thanks for watching. If you had any problems during the loading of the database, please feel free to contact me. I'll be more than happy to help. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.